Okay, guys, we're going to get started. So what we're going to do is we'll play some constraint-based games to start off with. So with these constraint-based games, I want you guys to keep in mind that it's a little bit of a game, but it's mostly drilling, so that we get into, like, the stuff that we do will be second nature for us. So we're going to start with the first one we're going to do is we're going to start in single leg X, and then we're going to work on our switches. We've done this in class last week. We're going to be here in our single leg X. So one of the most crucial parts of our leg entries that we tend to forget is we always need to access this other leg. You know, if I'm going to try and off-balance Brendy, or I'm going to try and attempt a leg lock. Firstly, leg locks against a standing opponent while they're standing, very low percentage. It's hardly going to happen. The only way I get stuff against a standing opponent is maybe if I use a butterfly where I'm pushing Brendy that way and I'm taking all the weight off of this leg, and then I can sub him on here. The difficult part there is I have to work quite hard because I'm moving a big, heavy person from standing. They only have to move their foot back to the floor this much. So I'm working way harder than they are. So how do we get past that? Is we off-balance this person. But if we just go single leg X trying to off-balance this person, again, we're going to work quite hard. So what do we have to do? We have to access the other leg. So that's going to be our first game. So from our single leg X, we'll be here. Now, I need to access that leg. If they're standing quite close and we can grip that, by all means, grab it, then we tip them over, right? If we can't get that, one of the ways we can do this is we take our leg and we bring it behind the knee and we pull them towards us. Okay, so that's one. So the other one that we can do is we can go and switch to an outside Ashi, bring in the Y guard, and again, pushing motion, pulling motion, get to the foot. Okay, so that will be our first game. You're going to go start in your single leg X. We're going to hook, pull the leg closer, grip that leg. Or we're going to switch to outside Ashi on this side, go Y guard, pull them closer, get access. For those of you that were in the class last week, if you want to go like a little bit more fancy, you're going to be here in your single leg X. You're going to drop your leg, put your X guard in. You can push them away, bring them closer, get that. Switch to your outside Ashi this side. Then we've got access to both legs. So I'm going to switch on the timer. Then one person at the bottom for 2 minutes. If you just want to do one way of getting hold of that ankle, do that. Alternatively, switch between these two. All you're doing is you're not completing the sweep. We're starting single leg X and we're getting access to that other ankle. Okay, so now, like I said, the main idea behind that was to secure the other leg, right? It's almost impossible to sweep someone if we don't have that other leg. I know we get those sweeps where we're holding a plate and whatever, but if someone's expecting that, they're more than likely going to resist and it's going to be tough. Whereby if we got both legs, firstly, we've got options of attacking, we've got options of switching to other leg attacks, but that's the highest percentage of sweep we're going to get. So now we're just going to work on the sweep a little bit, the mechanics of that. So when you go back to drilling, you'll do the whole sequence, but we'll be here. So from here, I was creating the pocket. I fill that pocket, keep Brendy away. I pull Brendy closer. The second this foot steps, I have to grab immediately, right? I can't chill here and then remember. When I kick him away, I know when I'm pulling him back, that's what I'm scooping for. Okay, from here, just kicking it straight, changing the angle here. From here, now we're going to take Brendy straight back that way or this way. I prefer taking Brendy over this leg because we got like a good pushing motion from this side, and also it opens up our options if we're attacking the leg. So if I drop Brendy this way, we're going to attack the leg on the floor. Whereby if I drop Brendy that way, we're going to attack the leg in the, like up here in the sky, right? So I'm kicking Brendy over there. We get into this position. As we get into this position, I want you guys to immediately switch to butterfly Ashi. Okay. If I kick Brendy backwards, again, butterfly Ashi. If I kick Brendy this way, butterfly Ashi, but you'll find this is way tougher. Okay. So, on the outside Ashi, I got Brendy's leg here. Now I'm going to drop him this way. Say, this, you'll firstly find that this is going to be tough to do, to drop him onto the side, because I don't have an angle to push, whereby that side I actually have an angle to push. So you'll see, difficult to utilize this space. Okay. So from here, I'll probably just stay outside Ashi. That side, switch your butterfly Ashi, straight back, butterfly Ashi. Okay, let's give that a go. 1, 2. You guys can come back in here. So now that we've dropped this guy to the floor, like I've just said to that group too, I never like to teach just one like route, you know, because then as soon as you run into, maybe when I teach you guys always drop to your left hip, but now you don't drop to your left hip, what do we do? So I like to teach options, right? So now, even though I'm saying we go top side, I'm going to also show you guys what do we do when we end bottom side. So first off, we'll start with top side, the attacks. So I've dropped Brendy to the floor. On this side. Yeah. So maybe let's turn this way. Yeah. Okay. Even if I end up dropping Brendy like this, you guys all recognize that this is bottom side, right? That the leg that I'm attacking is underneath my body, it's on the floor. Even if I dropped Brendy like this, we can switch this. All it is I'm here, I'll generally grab this foot, push it out of the way, and I'll turn this way, turning it into top side, okay? Alternatively, we drop Brendy down and we ended up top side from the start, okay? So the first attack we're going to do is the butterfly Ashi. So from here, we're going to swim this in, and then we're going to do a butterfly Ashi. The butterfly Ashi, when it starts working, is when we get our toes onto our shin. So you guys will see that oftentimes we don't have a lot of space here. We bring it in, and it barely touches our own foot, our own leg. What we do is you just kick this away. So just kick that away from you. As you kick it away from you, this actually turns into a yoki already. Okay? So that's one. Or we just get it from the start. Brendy maybe recognizes that the yoki is coming, so he just puts it back in. But that's fine. My leg pushing him from behind is way stronger than his leg extending. So we're here we're in the outside Ashi. All we do, we swim that in, we get that here. That's our first attack. This is when they're either flaring their knee to hide the heel so that we can't heel hook them, or they in a neutral position and we've got some space, we've kicked this in, we move that out of the way. Okay, that's option one. Option two would be if this guy tucks his knee in. Yes, he exposes a heel hook, so I've got a heel hook option, but a lot of times in a white belt comp, guys would do this because they can give you the heel hook, you're not allowed to attack it. But we can still get an Achilles lock from here. So we'll be here, we were in the outside Ashi, this guy starts turning his knee in. What we do is we turn this into a short Achilles. So my leg that's on the bottom touching Brendy's rib moves underneath his knee line. So technically breaking a rule of leg locks, because we always say don't let them free the knee line. Over here, we let them free the knee line because this is called a short Achilles. We're bringing that back, We wrap in a figure 4 like this. This free leg swims in, and then we get that there. From here, just connecting your hands and you leaning backwards. This is a ankle lock. Okay, so just covering that again. We ended up top side. So we've got a guy flaring his knee because he doesn't want to give us the heel hook. Then we go swim that in, butterfly ashi. We're going to work for our yoyoki or straight ankle. Alternatively, this guy's bringing the knee, bending the knee in. We go short, wrap the figure 4. This swims into his leg here. Again, we lean back, we get this up. Okay.
In terms of sequence, you're always going for the butterfly
First, yes.
And then adjusting as necessary.
Yes. Because so I'm not saying this because I'm saying one's better than the other. It's just I find the Ayoki locks are way more dangerous. So that's why I'll always swim in the butterfly ashi, because it gives me a good Ayoki lock. But if they're bending their knee from the start, you're just going to go for the short Achilles, or you can go for like calf slices and stuff, which lower percentage and high risk of getting injured yourself. But yeah, butterfly ashi would be my first. Butterfly ashi, yeah, butterfly ashi first. Okay, you guys want to give that a go? 1, 2. Okay, so now we've covered. If we look at the whole sequence we've covered today, is we started single leg X. We prioritize getting the other leg. The other leg is a precursor to the sweep. So we go other leg, and then depending on what we want to do, after securing the other leg, we're either sweeping straight from the position we had, or we're switching the legs, going to the other leg, but we secure the leg, we secure the sweep. If we secure the sweep, we try and get to a position where we're attacking top side. We want to get top side, right? Be that an inside heist where we dropped bottom side, but we correct our body going top side, or we fell neutral or top side from the start. Okay. In a perfect world, we'll always end up there. We've got our 2 options, butterfly ashi, short Achilles, right? Now we get into a position where we've dropped the person down, but they may be turned or something happened that we ended up bottom side. So now we're just going to look at what do we do bottom side, and then this will be the only technique I teach you guys today. We're going to look at different toe hold. It's called the Abe Lock. Okay. So, like I said, we were in outside Ashi. We dropped Brandy to the floor, but we're bottom side. Just remember, I'm not saying this is a bad position. This is not a bad position. It's just less options if we're looking at a big spectrum of from white belt all the way to black belt in terms of attacks we can do. Okay. If we're on this side, what we'll generally do is our bottom foot will be in the hip, and we'll lock this around, we'll wrap this around. If you're allowed to do heel hooks, you're going to bring your knees facing the ceiling. We're going to expose the heel, grab the heel, attack the leg lock, right? The heel hook. We're not doing that today. We fighting someone that's here pulling on our arm, pulling on our neck, making our life miserable, which you get this quite often. They're hiding their heel. They've got a lot of things going for them that we don't have going for us. Another thing people will do is they will actually come, bring that leg behind us and wrap it over this other leg, because we can only attack this leg. So if they put that foot on this foot, it makes it even worse. Even if I roll in, I can't access that heel. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our outside heist. So a lot of you, those of you that have come to my Leglock classes quite often know that I teach the one where we kick our leg out and we turn into a saddle. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, but still same mechanics. We cup behind this knee, we turn. As we turn, we pop onto our knees. Brenny will still have that on top of this. Okay? We drop and we put our head here. So I'm just going to move my head so that you guys can see what I'm doing. From here, I take this hand and I go and I scoop this. So I scoop the foot that he was protecting his main attack leg with. I scoop, I bring it in so that I can place my elbow on the floor here. From here, now that that's in here, we bring this hand up and we bring this in for a toe hold shape, right? So while I still have that, I'm grabbing toe hold here. You guys know that a normal toe hold would just be taking this hand, wrapping onto our own arm, creating figure 4. Alternatively, what we're going to do here is we're going to go where this hand is, it just comes and locks up onto this hand here. Okay, so just imagine my head's on the floor now. I'm doing this on the floor. I'm just sitting up so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So I go and I scoop the leg that he was protecting it with. I go, I drop this here. So I'm just sitting up so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I take normal toe hold shape. You wrap on the toes, like his pinky toe should be in line with this space here. So we're wrapping that there. You're already bending on the blade. This tucks into my body and grabs here, and then I crunch this into my hips, and then I use my chin on the toe to press down, and then that will give us a sub. Okay? It's a lot of details. We'll cover this again. This is a really effective technique. Okay? So we were here. Brendan was doing everything to give me a tough time. He does this. Okay. From here, we have to go outside heist. So from the outside heist, actually what I'm doing is I'm just turning onto my knees. So I can create some space to turn. I don't have to lock down because then the turn will be difficult. I'm creating some space, but I'm still staying close to Brendan's ribs with my bum. So I'm going up, sitting back. He'll still have this. So you're just swimming deep. You don't have to go and split this. You're swimming deep here. But a key detail is we're not trying to finish this here. This won't work. Brendan will start peeling it back. We have to swim it in that we're on this side of the leg with the elbow. And we place the elbow onto his shin. We lock that up, and crunch while pushing our chin into the foot as well. Okay, let's give that a go. 1, 2.